On the day of school registration, Ethan only bought tickets for himself and Lily. I didn't throw a tantrum. I calmly told him we should break up, just because of a single bus ticket. I told you I'd come back to pick you up. There's no need. Ethan sighed helplessly. So, Princess, how many days are you planning to break up with me this time? We had known each other for 10 years, and had been together for 2. Every decision I made was tied to Ethan. He was certain I couldn't leave him. But this time, I really was letting go. I refunded my ticket and submitted my application to go abroad as an exchange student. Better to end a rotten relationship once and for all. At Ethan's front gate, I was told he and Lily had already gone to the station. Weren't you two supposed to leave at 6? It's past 11 now. They should already be there. Lila, did you oversleep? And Ethan, really, he didn't even think to call you. Ethan's mom's words left me frozen. Panicked, I pulled out my phone and opened the screenshot Ethan had sent me last night. Mrs. Evans, you must be joking. Look, this is the screenshot Ethan sent me. Right here, it says the ticket is for 3 in the afternoon. That's impossible. They had the driver take them to the station early this morning. Don't panic yet, dear. Let me call and check. Just as she was about to dial, my phone rang. It was Ethan. Lila, did you make it to the station yet? On the video, Ethan was sweating, both hands clutching luggage, a pink shoulder bag hanging from his neck. It was obviously Lily's. Lily stood at ease beside him, holding the phone with one hand and an ice cream cone with the other. She lifted the cone to Ethan's mouth. Ethan, this ice cream is so good. Try a bite. He didn't refuse and bit right where Lily had licked. Anger flared in me. Ethan, what is this supposed to mean? Why did you lie to me, just to push me aside? Before I could finish, Lily turned the camera toward herself. She spoke quickly, her voice tinged with apology. Lila, please don't blame Ethan. If you want to blame someone, blame me. When we booked the tickets last night, there were only 2 seats left. I told him to go with you first, but Ethan thought that since I'm a freshman and don't know anything yet, I couldn't handle going alone. There's so much paperwork and registration to do, and he was afraid I'd get lost. So he decided to bring me first. You're not really going to make a fuss with him about this, are you? Her words made me laugh bitterly. From the moment she decided she wanted to get into Southern University, I had done everything I could to help her. Yet hearing it from her, I suddenly sounded like some petty, unreasonable villain. And shouldn't I be upset? If there weren't enough tickets, couldn't they have discussed it with me? Why keep it from me and push me aside? I was Ethan's girlfriend, and it wasn't even me who asked him to buy my ticket. He insisted on buying it for me. Before I could speak, Ethan took the phone back. The camera showed his handsome face, the smear of pink ice cream at the corner of his lips glaring in my eyes. He smiled softly, coaxing me. All right, don't be mad. I just brought Lily here to register first. You know how last year, when we moved in, the 2 of us were running around like crazy. And now there's a freshman too, right? As he spoke, a pale, slender hand appeared in the frame and wiped the ice cream from his lips. Ethan gave a fond smile to the person off camera, then turned back to me. And I did buy your ticket. I know you're my little sleepyhead, so I got you one for the afternoon so you could rest more. By the time you get to the station, I'll be almost done here, and then Lily and I will come pick you up. Don't be upset, my princess. Tonight I'll take you out for a nice dinner. Beside me, Mrs. Evans joined in, speaking up for Ethan as well. Lila, you know very well that Lily's mother gave her life to save Ethan. Everything Ethan does for her now is just to repay that debt. Please, try to understand him. I'll talk to him for you and make sure that next time he makes a decision, he'll consult with you first. With things said that far, there wasn't much I could respond to. It was true, Lily's mother had died to save Ethan. That was a debt Ethan could never repay, not in this lifetime. Still, I couldn't keep the bitterness out of my heart. I declined Mrs. Evans's offer to have the driver take me and instead dragged my suitcase home alone. It was still early for the 3 o'clock ticket, and I figured I could have lunch at home before leaving. When Mom saw me back again, confusion clouded her face. Lila, weren't you supposed to go with Ethan to school? I told her everything about the ticket. The smile on her face slowly disappeared. She walked over, pulled me to sit down on the sofa, her expression suddenly serious. Lila, what I'm about to say may sound cruel, but if even I don't tell you this, no one else will. I turned to look at her, my instincts telling me this had to do with Ethan. Ever since the Evans family had taken Lily in, Mom had never been optimistic about my relationship with him. Part of me wanted to shut her words out, but when I thought about all the arguments Ethan and I had had over Lily in the past year, I nodded. Mom, go ahead. She sighed, her hand tenderly stroking my cheek. Lila, you should be able to see it. Lily likes Ethan. Ethan owes her a life, and that bond between them can never be cut. As long as Lily still has feelings for Ethan, that debt will always be the perfect excuse to keep him tied to her. And when that happens, no matter how good your relationship with him is, cracks will form. In love, no one can balance two hearts equally, and no one is so generous as to tolerate another woman's presence. So, Lila, I hope you'll seriously think about this. Today was the first time, but there will be a second time, and then countless more. Her words were harsh, but they were the truth. Yet Ethan and I had known each other for 10 years. Though we'd only been together for 2, I had loved him far longer than that. From the moment I first felt the stirrings of a crush, Ethan had been the seed planted deep in my heart. For that seed to bloom, I gave up better opportunities and followed him to Southern University. For his sake, I tolerated Lily for an entire year, tutoring her, buying her gifts. Ethan said he thought of her as a little sister, so I forced myself to do the same, swallowing my unease. Maybe it was because he was my first love, or maybe because I was unwilling to give up, but I couldn't let go completely. My eyes burned red as I tried to speak, but the vibration of my phone cut me off. It was a voice message from Lily. Ethan, you're so clever, buying Lila her own tickets separately, and lying that our bus had no seats left. But if she finds out, aren't you afraid she'll be upset with you? The moment her words ended, it felt like a stinging slap across my face. Then came Ethan's helpless voice. What choice do I have? It's all for you, silly girl. Besides, if I let Lila come with us, I'd have to carry luggage for 3 people. I'd be exhausted. You at least know how to feel sorry for your brother, but Lila is spoiled at home. She only knows how to throw tantrums at me. If I end up taking care of you but not her, she'll just pick a fight. Just thinking about it gives me a headache. And if I hadn't rushed to buy her ticket, she might have gotten one for the same bus as us. Wouldn't that be awkward? You know she acts all generous on the surface, but she's argued with me plenty of times about you in private. Honestly, even without you this time, I wanted to go on my own, just to get a little space to breathe. Lily, you're driving me crazy, Ethan said, his tone full of impatience and annoyance when he mentioned me. Then he chuckled softly. But Lila does have one good thing. She truly loves me. For me, she gave up her spot at MIT, and she even gave up the chance to study abroad as an exchange student. So don't worry. Even if she finds out I did it on purpose, at most, she'll throw a little tantrum. After all, she can't live without me. Yeah, I know how strong your relationship is. But my dear Ethan, could you move your hand off me? You're pressing the strap of my bra into my skin, and it hurts. Where does it hurt? I'll blow on it for you. Stop it. I don't want you to. I am still a girl, after all. Their playful laughter spilled endlessly from my earbuds, until finally there was a sharp snap, the sound of a bra strap flicking back into place. At the instant the line went quiet, my heart fell into dead silence too. Lowering my head, a single tear slipped onto the screen. That was when I realized I was crying. The deep love I thought I had given so completely turned out to be nothing but a joke in their eyes. My mother's warning and Ethan's words of contempt played back and forth in my mind until I made my choice. I opened our chat and sent Ethan a message. We should break up. Whether by coincidence or not, he replied instantly. I didn't answer him. Instead, I deleted and blocked him. But only a second later, his call came through. His first words weren't to ask what happened. Instead, he said, Lila, my princess, what are you throwing a fit about this time? Clutching my phone, I couldn't help but find it laughable. He had always said this whenever we fought, and I used to believe it was my fault. Ethan often told me, do you even realize it? With your temper, no man but me could ever put up with you. I'm the only one who indulges you. Then he'd soften his tone. All right, stop fussing, okay? Think about it, if we really broke up, the one crying behind my back would still be you. So I always thought I was the one being unreasonable, the one too petty and sensitive. But Mom had told me the truth. In love, there's always calculation. Otherwise, why would they call someone a third party? I'm not fussing. I'm serious. My voice was steady. Ethan, let's break up. His tone didn't change. He even sounded amused. It can't be just over a bus ticket, right? Didn't I already tell you? Once I finish helping Lily register, I'll come pick you up at the station. It's not like I wasn't going to come. Do you really have to make this about breaking up? Lila, you have no idea how hot it is in South City today. I've been running around half the day with Lily, and my clothes are drenched. If you don't feel sorry for me, fine, but you want to dump me on top of that? My heart is freezing. Don't be like this, okay? Tonight I'll take you out for a seafood feast. In the past, I was easy to appease. A nice meal, a cup of milk tea, a small gift, and I could be happy for a long time. But now, clear-headed at last, I realized those little things were all things I could give myself. Why place my happiness in the hands of a man? Even though my heart still ached, I didn't waver. No need. Take Lily instead. Ethan burst out laughing. What a little jealous thing you are. Fine, fine, if you say break up, then break up. But I still have to ask, how long is it this time? 2 days? 3? In the background, Lily's voice chimed in, urging him. Ethan, I don't know how to fill out this form. Come help me. Ethan replied instantly with a simple, got it, then added, Lila, that's enough for now. I need to help Lily fill out her forms. I'll see you tonight at the station. After he hung up, I canceled my ticket. I finally sent out the exchange student application I had prepared long ago but never submitted. Then I went to the kitchen, where Mom was making seafood porridge for me. Wrapping my arms around her waist from behind, I said sweetly, Mom, can I still join that IELTS prep course your friend mentioned? Of course, honey. I'll help you get in touch, she replied. Dragging my suitcase back to my room, I reminded myself that sophomores returned to school a week later than freshmen. I hadn't planned to go so early in the first place. It was only because Ethan wanted to take Lily for registration that I agreed to go together. Now there was no need. I could stay home a few more days. I unpacked my suitcase and reorganized everything. My hands froze when I came across the last item, Ethan's birthday present. His birthday was only a week away. I had made the gift myself, a hand-polished ring. Now, it was useless. Throwing it away seemed wasteful, so I took a picture and posted it online at a low price. Ethan, from now on, let's live our lives separately. That night, I was woken up by his call. His tone was sharp. Lila, where are you? Lily and I have been waiting at the station for nearly 2 hours. Don't you think your little tantrum has gone far enough? You know Lily's health hasn't been good since her mom passed away, and yet she still came with me to pick you up. Don't you think it's time to let this go? I had taken a nap after unpacking, so being woken up already put me in a foul mood. Now, hearing Ethan scold me so harshly only stoked my anger. Did I ask you two to pick me up? If Lily isn't well, then she should see a doctor. What does that have to do with me? Don't use this moral blackmail on me. And another thing, we've already broken up. Where I am and what I do is none of your business. Ethan gave a cold laugh. Fine, Lila, play it your way. You're starting school in a week. Do you really think you can avoid me forever? You've just been spoiled rotten. On the other end, I could hear Lily's soft, coaxing voice. Ethan, don't fight with Lila. It's all my fault. Her voice soon turned into a fragile, tearful whimper. I didn't need to guess. I knew Ethan must have been in a fluster, busy comforting her. All right, it's not your fault. I spoiled her myself. Don't cry. My birthday is next week. I don't believe she'll be able to resist coming for that. I didn't listen any further and hung up the phone. As expected, by the time his birthday came a week later, I was already gone. The next morning, one of my roommates who had returned to school early called me. Lila, Ethan just came to the dorm with a freshman girl. He took all of your toiletries. And... She hesitated, as if what she had to say next would be too much for me. What else? Tell me. And the stuffed animal he gave you for your birthday last year. Lila, who is that girl? Ethan said she's your sister, but I swear she looks hostile toward you. When she was packing your things, she even knocked the photo of you and Ethan off your desk and broke it. She's clearly a scheming girl. And why didn't you come back with Ethan today? You two always came together at the start of term. The moment I heard the photo had been smashed, my heart clenched instinctively. But after thinking it over, I realized it didn't matter. The toiletries Ethan and I picked out as matching sets would have had to be thrown out anyway. The stuffed animal and the photo, I had planned to get rid of those once I returned to campus. If they had taken them, then that just saved me the trouble. I cut off my roommate's cautious probing. I forced a smile and said it was fine. If they want to take it, let them. Ethan and I already broke up. I was going to throw all that stuff out anyway. Before I could even finish, I suddenly heard Ethan's voice coming from my roommate's side. "Is that Lila?" Before my roommate could reply, Ethan had already taken her phone. His voice on the line was the same as always, playful and casual, clearly not taking our breakup seriously. "Leela, there are too many things to handle for freshman registration, and Lily's been so busy she hasn't had time to buy new toiletries. We'll just use yours for now. Oh, and about that stuffed animal on your bed, let Lily borrow it for a few nights. She's timid, can't fall asleep without something to hold. Hugging it will help her rest better. See? This time I'm actually discussing it with you, so don't go getting mad at me again." His words made me laugh bitterly. Discussing? This wasn't a discussion, it was an announcement. In the past, I would have argued with him. But now I just wanted to end the call quickly. "Fine. Whatever," I said flatly. My indifferent tone made Ethan chuckle, and 2 seconds later, I heard his mocking laugh through the receiver. "Still sulking, my princess?" The phone went back to my roommate. After exchanging a few more polite words with her, I hung up. After that, I got ready to head to the address Mom gave me to meet the IELTS tutor. Strictly speaking, going abroad on exchange didn't require an IELTS score. Since I was headed to Singapore, passing the English proficiency test would have been enough. But I was planning to pursue further studies in Australia later, and I'd need it for that. Even though it was still far in the future, right now I desperately needed something to keep me occupied. In the car, I scrolled through Lily's social media. There was a photo of last night at the station, them waiting for me. Lily looked drowsy, her head resting gently on Ethan's shoulder, her arm looped tightly around his. The caption read, "The wind at the station was so cold, but with you by my side, my heart feels warm." Another post was from their seafood banquet. Ethan held the phone for a selfie, half his face visible, while the table was full of dishes. Lily sat across, wide-eyed and innocent, her caption saying, "It was my first time eating seafood. He nearly ordered everything on the menu. If this keeps up, I'll be spoiled rotten." There were also vlogs of them strolling through South City these past few days. In the videos, Ethan held Lily's hand to guide her across the street, tied her shoelaces with endless patience, even went out to buy sanitary pads for her. Her caption read, "I said I'm not a little kid anymore, but he insists on treating me like one. I guess there's no helping it." The final post was a picture of a stuffed animal tossed in a trash bin. The caption, "Let the past stay in the past. In the future, we'll all find new partners." So this was what Ethan meant when he said he had no time. No time to buy toiletries, yet he had time to buy Lily sanitary pads. Too busy with freshman registration, yet he still had time to wander the streets with her, arm in arm. I used to tell myself it was all just about gratitude, nothing more. But now, standing outside of it all, I finally saw the truth. Ethan had crossed the line long ago. Just like one of our mutual friends commented beneath her post. "Seriously, Lily? What are you trying to imply with such an ambiguous caption? Everyone knows Ethan and Lila are together. Don't you realize how this looks? People will think you're the girlfriend instead." Another added, "You're nearly 20, still calling yourself a kid? Ridiculous. And when you say new partners, don't tell me you mean yourself." Someone even tagged me. "Lila, I told you long ago, some people act innocent just to hide their real intentions. You never believed me. You treat her like a sister, but she sees you as a rival. She'll use you and then throw you under the bus, playing the victim. And you still tolerate it?" Since I had already been tagged publicly, I decided to use this moment to make things clear. After all, it was better to cut ties cleanly with a rotten relationship. I left a comment beneath Lily's post. "Ethan and I have broken up. I wish them a long and happy life together." After hitting send, I finally let go. I deleted Lily from my contacts. Right after that, calls from several high school classmates came in. Most of them expressed regret about me and Ethan, saying we had been the most admired couple in our class. During our freshman year, when my dad fell ill and needed surgery, I took time off to help Mom care for him in the hospital. Ethan ran back and forth every day between school and the hospital, just to tutor me on the lessons I missed. In our sophomore year, Ethan's father passed away suddenly, and overnight he collapsed into despair. During that period, I stayed with him in the morning hall day and night to help him through it. If he didn't sleep, I didn't sleep. If he refused to eat or drink, I starved alongside him. Ethan was afraid I'd get sick, so even when he couldn't swallow, he forced himself to eat. He'd eat, throw up, and eat again. We accompanied each other through the darkest days, believing we were each other's most important person. Even our homeroom teacher would teasingly hint at how well-matched we were. At our graduation party, Ethan sang a love song to me on stage in front of the entire school. That day, he wore a white shirt and held a bouquet of 99 pink paper roses he had folded by hand, each one carefully made. When I accepted, he hugged me tightly in front of everyone, holding the microphone like a victorious general flaunting his triumph. 4 years from now, he declared, I'll invite everyone here to drink at our wedding. Everyone believed him. Even I did. We all thought Ethan and I would make it to the end, that we'd marry, have children. But none of us expected that summer to change everything. That was the summer Lily's mother died, saving Ethan. It was also the summer Ethan and I both received admission letters to Southern University. We were about to leave for South City, hundreds of miles from home. My parents still had each other for company, but Mrs. Evans was alone. Lily's mom had been her family's housekeeper, and whether out of concern for her employer or her daughter's future, she cautiously asked if Lily could move into the Evans' villa. Lily was about to start her senior year of high school, and transferring would help her studies. With Ethan and me soon leaving for college, Lily could also keep Mrs. Evans company. Having another child at home would make things livelier. Besides, Lily had always come to stay at the villa during summer vacations to reunite with her mom. Over time, we had all come to know her. Back then, Lily was a timid girl. She spoke softly, did everything carefully, almost with a hint of eagerness to please. In the end, Mrs. Evans agreed to take her in. But the accident happened on the way to bring Lily back. Ethan and Lily's mom had gone together to her hometown. Everything went smoothly at first, but on the way back, there was a car crash. Ethan lost consciousness at the scene. By the time Mrs. Evans and I arrived at the hospital, Lily's mom had already passed away. There had been 4 people in the car. The driver was badly injured. Ethan had a fractured leg and a concussion. Lily only suffered a few scrapes on her face. She stayed by Ethan's bedside, her eyes swollen from crying, and the doctor said she hadn't left his side even once. When Mrs. Evans and I entered the room, Lily staggered toward us and suddenly dropped to her knees, sobbing so hard her voice broke. Mrs. Evans, my mom died saving Ethan. I don't have a mother anymore. What am I supposed to do? Her words brought tears to Mrs. Evans's eyes. She quickly pulled Lily up from the floor and comforted her softly. Good child, don't cry. From now on, I'll be your mother. You'll stay with the Evans family, and whatever your brother Ethan has, I'll make sure you have too. From that day on, Lily changed. She went from being a soft little rabbit to a hedgehog bristling with thorns. Lily began treating Ethan as if he belonged solely to her. The moment I got close, she bristled like a hedgehog. At first, Ethan would try to comfort me, saying, Lily just lost her mom. She's hurting inside. She's not really targeting you on purpose. The doctor said it's a psychological trauma, after effects from the accident. Please, just give her some leeway, for me, all right? I agreed. After such a huge accident, no one's heart would be at peace. I also felt sorry for Ethan. He carried so much guilt and wanted to make it up to Lily. I understood. I even helped him comfort her, treated her well myself. But Lily often stirred up conflicts between us. Once I handed her a cup of milk tea. She deliberately didn't take it, letting it spill on her leg and burn her. Then she burst into tears, accusing me of trying to hurt her. At first, Ethan would listen when I explained, but as incidents like this piled up, his trust in me eroded. His eyes grew impatient, his tone cold. Lila, can't you be more generous? Lily's mom died saving me. Why can't you think from my perspective? You're my girlfriend, aren't you? Why are you always making trouble for me? Isn't everything messy enough already? That day I lost my composure. My eyes were red as I shouted back, "Her mother saved you, not me. Why do I have to keep enduring? If Lily told me to give you up to her, am I supposed to endure that too?" Ethan slapped me across the face. "Lila, do you hear yourself? You've disappointed me so much." That time, I told him I wanted to break up. But later on my birthday, Ethan came back to me. Heavy snow was falling that day. He stood downstairs outside my dorm, wearing the black coat I loved most, holding the stuffed animal I adored. His fingers were red and raw from the cold, the snow piling thick on his shoulders. Yet he didn't move an inch. I stood on the balcony looking down, and at that exact moment he looked up. Our eyes met, and I softened again. But now that same stuffed animal had been tossed into the trash by Lily, with Ethan's silent consent. Our love had been thrown away along with it. I did love him. But just as Mom said, no one can truly accept the presence of another woman in their relationship. Like the song says, one person's sacrifice is better than 3 people's torment. Yet there's still something I've never understood. Ethan had been sitting in the passenger seat, so how did Lily's mother, sitting in the back, manage to save him? And why was Lily, who was also in the back seat, left with nothing but a few scratches? After meeting with the IELTS tutor, we set a weekly lesson schedule. Since I was reporting to my university in Singapore in just a week, we decided on online classes. Once that was settled, I began preparing the paperwork according to the school's requirements. I was lucky. My teacher told me the exchange student list had already been submitted and was full. But because one student had withdrawn due to family issues, a spot opened up, and I managed to seize it. By the time I finished preparing the documents, 3 days had passed. It was about time to pack up and return to campus anyway. My roommates, upon hearing that I was heading to Singapore, had been clamoring for a farewell dinner. This time, I chose to fly instead of taking the train. Ethan had always been afraid of heights, refusing to board planes. So in the past, whenever we went back to school or traveled, we always chose the train or high-speed rail. But truthfully, I had always wanted to try flying. Now, as I gazed out the window at the endless layers of clouds, my heart felt surprisingly light. For the first time in a long while, I was genuinely looking forward to life abroad. At the airport, my 3 roommates had already been waiting. The moment they saw me, they rushed over excitedly. "See? Breakups really do make you lose weight. It's only been 2 months and you're even thinner. But prettier too. Let me look, let me look." My roommate from the bed next to mine squeezed in, deliberately poking at my waist and shoulders. "Hehe, at least the right places still have some shape. Sure, you've slimmed down, but now you've got a better figure." I grabbed her wandering hand with a laugh. I knew they were just worried I might still be upset over the breakup. But honestly, these past days I'd been so busy I hadn't thought about Ethan at all. Even when someone mentioned him, I could face it calmly. Alright, who said I lost weight? I've been eating so well at home. Not only did I not lose weight, I actually gained 2 pounds. Don't worry, I'm fine. Smiling at them, I finally eased their concerns. "See, I told you. Lila isn't the kind to cling to a man. Toss him and move on, that's that. Tonight, girls' night. No talking about that useless jerk." That evening, we went to a music restaurant and sat near the terrace. On stage, the singer was performing a Jay Chu song, and the crowd hummed softly along. Suddenly, a group of people pushed through the door and I saw Ethan. For once, Lily wasn't by his side. His friends were chatting and laughing, but Ethan frowned, staring down at his phone as if waiting for a call. One friend nudged him. "Is Lila still mad? Don't tell me she won't come tonight? On your birthday? Not to be rude, but you're too close with your sister. Even real siblings know to keep some distance so the girlfriend doesn't feel insecure. And she's not even your real sister. Want me to use my phone to call her?" For a split second, Ethan's expression went blank. He turned to his friend with a helpless look. "But I really do see Lily as just a sister. Didn't I make her stay home tonight?" "What, you don't believe me either? I'm grown. Don't you think I can tell the difference between a girlfriend and a sister?" His friend sighed, rolling his eyes. "Sure, you treat her like a sister, but that doesn't mean she treats you like a brother. And let's be real, No one who's sneaking around would wear the word mistress on their face. Take my advice, man, while you still can. Go apologize. When I saw the cake in his friend's hands, I suddenly remembered it was Ethan's birthday today. Ethan quickly took the phone his friend offered and dialed my number. My phone rang on the table. The ringtone still the same, Jay Cho song he once sang to me years ago. I had gotten used to keeping my phone on vibrate at home, so I'd forgotten to change it. I wanted to hang up immediately, but Ethan had already heard it. He strode quickly toward me, and the instant he spotted me, his face lit up. "Lila, I knew you'd come," he said with a smile, reaching for the gift box on the table. "This is the birthday present you brought me, right? I knew you couldn't bear to stay away." I stopped him with my hand, forcing a polite but awkward smile. "That's not for you, it's mine. My roommates prepared it as a farewell gift." Ethan froze then, as if brushing the thought aside, he chuckled. All right, my princess is still mad. That's fine. Forget the gift, just being here is enough for me." I cut him off, my voice cold. "Ethan, we've already broken up. Break up, do you understand? I don't make a habit of preparing birthday gifts for an ex-boyfriend, so please step aside and don't interrupt our dinner." The smile on Ethan's face froze. He reached out to grab me. "Layla, it's been so long. Why are you still mad? What breakup? I never agreed to break up. Stop trying to fool me. That box is your birthday gift for me, isn't it? You're just trying to scare me, right?" As he spoke, he tried to snatch the box from my hands. "I know you secretly polished a pair of rings. The rings are in here, aren't they?" No wonder that day he had sounded so confident when telling Lily that I would definitely show up on his birthday. He must have already known about the rings. But what was he doing while I was working on them? Picking out a graduation gift for Lily, claiming he kept it from me for my own good because I'd be upset if I found out. The thought made me sick. I stopped resisting and let him open the box. The moment the lid came off, Ethan's face went blank. Inside was a plane ticket to Singapore. My roommates knew I'd never flown before and worried I might mess up booking my own ticket, so they had quietly bought one for me. Alongside the ticket were little trinkets, photos of me and my roommates turned into acrylic keychains. Ethan's hands trembled as he picked up the ticket. His eyes turned red instantly, and I knew he remembered how I once turned down my professor's offer to study abroad, all for him. "Leela, why are you going to Singapore? I get it, you're just trying to clear your head, right? Because I upset you, so you want to get away for a while, isn't that it?" I hadn't planned on telling him about going abroad, but now that he'd seen it, there was nothing left to hide. After so many years together, it was time to end things with dignity. I pulled the ticket out of his hand and said evenly, "It's not a trip. I'm going there to study." "Ethan, I honestly forgot today was your birthday." "Yes, I did polish a pair of simple couple rings. At first, I meant them to be your birthday gift. But now I don't want to give them to you." That's the truth. This breakup isn't about sulking or waiting for you to coax me back. I mean it. Ethan's words came fast and anxious. "Is this because of Lily? If it's because of her, I can keep my distance. If you don't like her, I'll cut back on seeing her. Lila, you know I can't just abandon her." "Yeah, I know," I said with a bitter smile. "Gratitude above everything, right? That's why I understand. That's why I'm letting go. That's why I don't love you anymore." Ethan's lips curved into a desperate smile. He opened his mouth to say something else, but one of my roommates cut him off. "Ethan, where were you before all this? You know exactly why Lila's angry. Stop pretending. Don't stand here acting like you're so devoted. Isn't it pathetic? You call her your sister, but tell me, what kind of sister smashes her brother and his girlfriend's photos? What kind of sister posts vague, intimate pictures with her so-called brother on social media? Don't play dumb. You're hiding behind that sibling excuse while stringing two women along. Honestly, people like you, who can't respect boundaries, are more disgusting than those who cheat physically. So do us all a favor, stop pestering Lila. You've got your precious sister, that's enough." Ethan stared at me, muttering softly, "Leela, it's not like that, it's not what you think." I shook my head. It doesn't matter anymore. Slinging my bag over my shoulder, I turned and walked away. Ethan ran after me, but just as he grabbed my arm, my phone buzzed in my pocket. It was a call from Lily. On the phone, Lily's voice was choked with sobs. Ethan, I fell during military training just now and scraped my knee. It hurts so much. Can you come back to campus and see me? But this time, Ethan didn't soothe her like he always had before. Instead, he looked at me, then said into the phone, "Go ask a classmate to take you to the infirmary first. I'm with Lila right now. I'll come see you tomorrow." He was about to hang up, but the next second Lily broke down in tears. "I know Lila is more important. But I really hurt. If my mom were still here, I wouldn't have called you. I wouldn't bother you to. I know I'm being unreasonable, but I really have no one else to rely on." Ethan's expression grew conflicted. He held my hand tightly, unwilling to let go, but it was obvious he was hesitating again. He still couldn't let go of Lily. I smiled generously, as if making the choice for him. I pulled my hand free, turned, and got into a cab. The moment the door shut, Ethan was still standing there in a daze. As the car pulled away, he ran after it, shouting, "Lila? I'll just go check on her and then I'll come find you. Please wait for me. Promise me you'll wait for me." But I answered softly inside the car, "No, Ethan. This time, I won't wait for you." I didn't go back to campus. That same day, I checked into a hotel near the airport and spent one last dorm night talk with my roommates. Though we had only lived together for a year, they had always looked after me. I was the youngest and the shyest in the dorm. After our very first late-night talk at the start of school, they had teasingly nicknamed me Grandma. Every time Ethan and I fought, they had stood behind me, giving me their support. By the end of our talk, my eyes were red with tears. I, who never drank, opened a can of beer and raised it. "Thank you all." Their eyes turned red too as they hugged me tight. "Brat, don't you dare forget us after you go abroad." "Yeah, exactly. Even if you find a hot guy overseas, don't you forget your sisters here. And when you do, make sure to introduce me to the most capable one among his friends." That last line made us all burst into laughter through our tears. The next morning, they accompanied me to the airport. What I hadn't expected was to see Lily there too. She was still wearing her camouflage training uniform, her eyes red and swollen from crying. The moment she spotted me, she rushed over, trying to hit me. I caught her wrist firmly. Her red eyes glared at me. "Lila, since you've chosen to go abroad, why didn't you just leave from your hometown? Why did you have to come to South City? You're leaving anyway. Why show up in front of Ethan again? You're so shameless." I sneered coldly at her. "What's wrong? Ethan and I have already broken up. Why are you still acting like this? Hasn't he made you official yet?" Back when I first brought up breaking up with Ethan, I'd received an anonymous text message. I hadn't needed to guess who sent it. It was clearly from Lily. The message said that without me standing in the way, she and Ethan would have been together long ago. Her confidence then only made her look pathetic now. Enraged by my words, Lily lunged at me again. I twisted her wrist back and slapped her hard across the face. She held her cheek in disbelief, staring at me. "Lila, you dare hit me? My mother was Ethan's savior. You dare lay a hand on me? Ethan will never forgive you once he finds out." The moment Lily said that, it dragged me back to all those days when I had been suffocated by moral blackmail, forced to endure for the sake of a so-called debt. All the grievances I had swallowed came flooding back, and I slapped her again, hard. "So what if your mother saved Ethan? She didn't save me. Stop trying to use that so-called favor as a leash to bind me." Lily opened her mouth as if to argue, but I grabbed her collar, yanking her close. My voice was a cold whisper against her ear. "Lily, tell me, how exactly did your mother, sitting in the back seat, manage to save Ethan in the passenger seat? And you, sitting in the back with her, how did you walk away with nothing but scratches?" Her body stiffened violently. Her eyes widened, but then, as if something twisted in her mind, a smile spread across her face. "So what if you're curious? That road had no cameras, and I destroyed the dash cam. My word is the only truth left." I curved my lips in a bitter sneer and shifted my gaze past her, locking eyes with the man standing behind her. Ethan's face had gone ashen, his voice dropping to a terrifying low. "What do you mean by that?" Lily's smile froze. She turned stiffly, and the instant she saw Ethan, her knees nearly gave way. In a blink, she reverted to her fragile little rabbit act, eyes brimming with tears as she clutched at his arm. "Ethan, let me explain." But this time, Ethan's expression was merciless. He raised his hand and flung her off. Lily hit the slick, freshly polished airport floor, tumbling painfully. The sharp crack of bone against tile made everyone wince. For a whole year, you've been lying to me, playing me for a fool, haven't you? Your mother didn't die saving me, she died protecting you. Isn't that the truth? Do you realize that because of you, I almost lost Lila forever? One of my roommates watching from the side cut in coldly. Correction, you've already lost her. Ethan spun around in panic, but all he caught was the sight of me handing over my ticket at the gate. He lunged toward me, but just as his hand almost brushed my arm, I stepped through security and walked toward the boarding entrance. Behind me, his voice cracked in anguish, echoing through the terminal. Leela, wait for me. I'll come to Singapore next year. I'll find you there. Life in Singapore turned out to be full and steady. I found a part-time job with other exchange students, shared an apartment with classmates, and sometimes video chatted with my parents and my roommates from Southern University. The rest of the time, I buried myself in my studies. Oh, and not long after I arrived, the pair of rings I had posted online finally sold. One day, in a call with my roommate, she mentioned Ethan had tried to apply for the exchange program too, but his application was rejected because he failed the English proficiency test. That surprised me. Back in high school, it was Ethan who had always helped pull up my English grades. His level had been better than mine. How could he not even pass? My roommate laughed. Do you know why he failed? Because of Lily. She knew he was taking the test so he could follow you to Singapore, so she secretly removed the batteries from his listening headset. He only realized during the exam that his headphones were dead. He guessed through the whole listening section, his nerves collapsed, and the rest of the test went downhill. Total disaster. Oh, and that day he and Lily had a huge fight on campus. He even slapped her. Afterward, they split on bad terms, and Lily went around spreading rumors that Ethan was ungrateful. She said her mother had been his savior, entrusted him to her with her dying breath, and yet Ethan betrayed her. Now, on campus, the two of them are basically enemies. Well, more like Ethan sees Lily as the enemy. The moment he spots her, he runs the other way. Listening to this absurd story, I felt a strange daze wash over me. Who would have thought that once upon a time, I had been one of them too? After hanging up, I got a call from an unfamiliar number. The voice on the other end said my friend had fainted from anemia at the airport and asked me to come pick him up. When I rushed over, Ethan had already been taken to the lounge by staff. His fear of heights had drained the color from his face, leaving him ghostly pale. The moment he saw me, he staggered forward, eyes red as blood, his voice trembling. Leila, I missed you so much. I looked at him calmly, the way I would look at any ordinary acquaintance. I didn't say a word, but Ethan's eyes filled with tears. Leila, don't look at me like that. He pulled a ring from his collar, holding it out to me. Look, this is the one you polished yourself. I saw the pair of rings online and bought them, so he was the buyer. I nearly didn't recognize it anymore. Thinking about it, I almost laughed. How foolish I had been to spend so much time on something so meaningless. Seeing no change in my expression, Ethan grew more desperate, fumbling for the bouquet on the table. They were pink roses he had folded himself. Lila, do you remember the graduation party? Back then, we promised we'd invite everyone to our wedding banquet. You agreed too. So Lila, can't you give me another chance? This time, I've completely cut things off with Lily. My family stopped supporting her. I have nothing to do with her anymore. He said a lot, but I only watched him faintly. It felt strange. The person I had once loved so deeply now stirred no emotion in me at all. He was still wearing the same black coat I once adored, but my heart didn't skip a beat like it used to. I cut him off. If you came today just to patch things up, you can leave now. I turned to go, but Ethan grabbed my hand, silent tears streaming down his face. Why, Lila? After all these years together, why can't you give me one more chance? I never did anything unforgivable. Are we really ending just because of a bus ticket? I laughed suddenly. Even now, he still thought it was just about a ticket. Ethan, do you know I heard everything you said to Lily in the car? You said I annoyed you. You said even without Lily, you'd have wanted to go alone. You've always known why I was angry, haven't you? But you chose to ignore it. You treated your ambiguous closeness with Lily as if it were pure sibling affection, and then blamed me for being unreasonable, for not being understanding. Well, now I'm understanding. I've let it all go. I'll never throw a tantrum again. So what do you want from me now? By the end, my nose stung, not because I still loved him, but because I felt sorry for myself. Ethan, now I can finally understand how you once felt, being clung to by someone you're tired of. It's exhausting. His eyes flickered with hope as I spoke, only for my words to snuff it out completely. The flowers slipped from his hands with a dull thud, scattering painstakingly folded petals across the lounge floor. A staff member walked over, sternly demanding that Ethan clean up the trash immediately, or they would fine him under local law. At the word trash, all strength seemed to drain from him. He crouched down, sobbing uncontrollably, while I turned and walked away without looking back. But Ethan didn't leave. He lingered around my school, and somehow got hold of my new address. He waited for me under my building, but I never stopped for him. Until one night after class, I was heading home when a drunken man suddenly lunged out of an alley and grabbed me tightly. I was terrified. I grabbed the pepper spray from my bag and sprayed it straight into the man's eyes. When the police arrived, I finally saw clearly it was Ethan. That day, Ethan was deported. Because of his misconduct, he was banned from entering Singapore again. From then on, Ethan disappeared completely from my life. The friends around me gradually went their own ways too, each pursuing different paths. In the end, no one even mentioned his name to me anymore. It was like two lines that had once run side by side toward the same point. After years of struggle and effort, when the moment of truth finally came, those lines diverged forever, never to meet again. But maybe that was for the best. We each walked our own road, took responsibility for our own lives. Everything had been by choice, and I had no regrets. I cherished the encounter, but I owed nothing, and I carried no debts. Epilogue. Ethan, I used to think Lila would never leave me. For so many years she had always forgiven me, always softened after a fight, always chosen to stay. I believed that no matter how much I hurt her, she'd still be there, waiting. But I was wrong. The day I saw her walking away at the airport, her back straight and resolute, I felt something inside me collapse. I called her name until my throat was raw, but she never looked back. In that moment, I realized I wasn't the one she couldn't live without. I was the one she finally chose to let go of. I told myself I'd find her in Singapore, that I'd prove I could change. I even applied for the exchange program, but I failed. Failed the test, failed her, failed us. And when I tried to cling to her again, humiliating myself outside her apartment, I only pushed her further away. The last time I held her was by force, drunk and desperate, and even then, she fought me off. The look in her eyes as the police pulled me away, cold, distant, finished, still burns me alive. Now I am back in my own country, banned from hers, cut out of her life as if I never existed. I hear nothing of her anymore. No one even says her name to me, and yet every night she's the only name echoing in my chest. Lila once gave me her youth, her loyalty, her love. She stood beside me through death, grief, and despair. But when it was my turn to protect her, I failed. I let guilt, weakness, and excuses blind me, and I let another woman wedge herself between us. I thought I was irreplaceable. I thought I had time. But love doesn't wait forever. Now, I live with nothing but regret. If there is a punishment worse than losing her, it is knowing that I had everything and carelessly threw it all away.